Before we begin accessing our Supabase instance with this Supabase constant, let's create a database on Supabase and an entries table for storing our entries. And we'll then use this Supabase constant to display those entries in our app. So let's jump back to the Supabase site, and on the left, let's jump to database. Let's jump to tables. I'm just going to full screen this. So we don't currently have any tables yet. So let's click on New Table. Let's create a table called Entries. Let's disable row level security. This feature allows us to add security to our data in our tables, and we will enable this later on. But for now, while we're getting started, it's going to be much easier for us to just disable this. So let's disable that and click on Confirm. Let's scroll down to this columns section. So SQL databases are made up of tables with rows and columns. So we have a row for each item of data, for example, each entry. And we have columns for the different types of data. By default, all tables have an ID column so that we can give each row a unique ID and a created at column. And this ID column is currently set to an integer. But if we jump back to Moneyballs and go to the Vue DevTools and the Pinia section and entries, you can see we're currently using strings for our IDs, which are currently being created by Quasar's UUID plugin. So let's jump back to Supabase and change this type here to UUID to give us the same kind of text-based ID. Let's add some more columns based on our entries data. So if we jump back to Moneyballs again, and the Vue DevTools and Pinia and entries, each of our entries has 3 properties besides the ID, name, amount, and paid. So let's add some columns for name, amount, and paid. So let's jump back to Supabase and click on Add Column. Let's add a column for the name. So we'll set this column name to name. And for the type, we'll set this to text. Let's click on Add Column again and add a column for the amount. So we'll set the name to amount, and we'll set the type to float 4 because we're going to be storing numbers with decimal points here. And just to make sure we always have a number stored in this field, let's set the default value to 0. And this means that if we try to create an entry row in this table and for some reason we don't provide an amount, Supabase will automatically set this to 0. Let's add another column for the paid field. We'll set the name to paid. And if we jump back to Moneyballs, this is a Boolean, true or false. So let's set the type to bool. And we'll give this a default value of false. This is all the fields that we need for now, or all the columns. So let's click on Save. And we can see our entries table here. And if we click on these 3 dots and click on View in Table Editor, then we can actually edit the data in this table. And you can even import data with a CSV file. Help me out with a quick like, comment, share, or subscribe. But let's add a couple of rows for a couple of different entries. So let's click on Insert and Insert Row, and the ID and created at fields will be generated automatically. So we can leave these, and for the name, let's set this to salary. Let's set the amount to 4999.99, and we'll set paid to true. Click on Save, and we now see that row added. And we can see it's automatically generated the unique ID and the created at timestamp. And let's add one more entry. Click on Insert and Insert Row. And this time we'll set the name to rent. And we'll set the amount to -999 because this is going to be an expense. And we'll leave the paid as false and click on Save. And we now have 2 rows in our table for 2 entries. So let's see if we can display these entries in Moneyballs. Get the full course, including authentication, row-level security and policies, database functions and triggers, storage, edge functions, and running Supabase locally from makeappsacademy.com, or click the link in the description.